My name is Joe Sink, owner and operator of JOESINK Pottery here in the Piedmont of North Carolina. So I've been making pottery for 3 years now, and I need your help to fund my wood kiln rebuild. I have built one wood kiln about 6 months ago, and due to my materials having fairly short lifespan, it's time to build a new one. This kiln is about 5 times bigger than that kiln. It's only 50 cubic foot, which I estimate will hold around 200 to 250 pots. This kiln will be built right off to the side of this barn with new fire brick that I have found at a deal. And so my expenses are lower than they would typically be. And this would really help me to get rolling and to just hit the ground running. I have plenty of kiln space, good shelves, and it really will allow me to make better pottery. And the work that I make, here's some of it. It's definitely functional. I love making functional things. I love for my pieces to be used every day, on all occasions. Coffee, beer, serving trays, pitchers, bowls, anything you can think of. I love to make it because I really like to use it. I've been making pottery for about 3 years. I started in Boone, North Carolina, in the mountains. Took every class I could take there, and then also took it upon myself to go and meet other big wood fire potters, especially we have a wealth of potters in North Carolina, and so I've used that at my advantage, and went and fired with them and learned a lot. And I think that I definitely have the knowledge now to build this wood kiln. I've built one wood kiln previously over my Christmas break in 2016, just months ago, and fired that kiln multiple times with really good results. All these pieces were in that kiln. I soda glaze my pottery, which means that I take baking soda when the kiln is as hot as it's going to get, and I throw it in the kiln, just baking soda, like you know, and that vaporizes and sticks to the clay, which forms a food-safe coating. And it's also my desired decoration for my pieces. It's what gives it the shine here, along with melted wood ash from the wood that fuels the kiln. So I get all of my clay from a little bit east of here in North Carolina at a really cool company called Starworks. They've been doing some really good stuff, and their clays are great, and they throw well, and they're really good. And so that's where I'll be getting my clay from. So where's your money going? I need to buy materials that I don't have for the wood kiln, mainly fire brick. These fire brick are relatively expensive, but they're also, I think, a more durable option than the kiln that I previously built. It's going to also go towards an electric kiln, which the reason I need an electric kiln as well is so that I can bisque fire my pots. What bisque firing does is it's a very slow firing, and the electric kiln will be computer controlled, and so it will climb in temperature as fast as I want it to, which allows the water in the clay to burn out, and then also physical water to burn out. Now, why can't I do that in a wood kiln? Well, I could, but the electric kiln will save so much headache, because if you were to just single fire everything, which means after I made it, load it into the kiln and fire it extremely slow up to peak temperature, there's a risk that my pots would heat up too fast in this chaotic atmosphere of a wood kiln and explode. This has happened before, and the electric kiln would really help me take down some variables that I had with the single firing. So we have materials for the wood kiln, the electric kiln, clay. Your money would go towards helping me buy about 1,000 pounds of clay, and glaze materials, which can be relatively expensive. There's also some materials in there like wadding, which sit the pot off the kiln shelf, and those materials can be fairly expensive when you're dealing with wood kilns. Your funds will also go towards me building a shed over my kiln, which I estimate could run around $600. I'm going to do my absolute best to find cheap or even free materials. It doesn't have to look pretty. I really just need it to cover my kiln to prevent water issues, and also be a great place for me to stack all my wood while it's drying in between firing cycles. I would just be honored and thrilled if you would join me in helping make this something really cool, helping a small local business get off the ground and just hit the ground running. And once this kiln is built, there are endless possibilities. One really cool thing that I love about wood firing is what it does for community. Lots of friends and family join around the kiln firing with food and drink, and it's a great time to educate people about pottery, to tell them where their favorite pint glass or where their sweet tea pitcher came from, and it just makes that item more special to them. I know when I got first exposed to pottery and I learned the process and where this mug came from and who made it and whose hands formed it, I just was fascinated because it was almost like there was a connection between this piece and the maker. But there definitely was a connection, and I love that, and I want that to be in more people's lives instead of the cheap plastic stuff that we buy and throw away and crack. So yeah, I would be honored if y'all could join me in making this wood kiln a reality.